I'll wait. Your enemies are watching you eat. Woo! But they don't have enough money to pay the price. So they're watching you eat through the window. And they mad, agitated. But watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this, watch this. Seek divinity for direction. David ordered the ephod, so he can consult God. I need, and we out of here, I need to talk to God. Now watch this, y'all. Here it is. Be careful who you talk to. Because who you talk to, they have a mouth just like you do. And if you don't want to be associated with good Christian conduct, come on, talk back to me if you can. If you don't want your good to be evil spoken of, take your cares, your criticisms, your critiques, and your concerns to an almighty Christ who won't tell nobody else your business. Look at your neighbor and say, oh, we. Look at another neighbor and say, he right there, he right there, he right there. We go to everybody else versus the one who can change the situation. But watch this, watch this. We worship God before we wage war. That's verse number 6. We seek divinity for divine direction. That's verses 7 through 8. But lastly, between verses 11 through 14, my disposition has to be dominated by divinity. Hear what I just said? My disposition, my temperament has to be dominated. Y'all give me 5 minutes. By divinity. Can I put this in your lap? This is Facebookable or tweetable. Is that a word? You ready for it? Watch this here, Sister Sky. Stop allowing what you see to cloud your ability to see. Preach, boy. And I ain't really got no who, but this I'm gonna teach this thing. Stop allowing what you see. That all right, Sean? To cloud your ability to see. Is it all right, Deacon Samuel? Can I put it in your lap where you can reach it? Watch this. Here it is. Here it is. Here, I promise you, right up between verses 11 to 14. Oftentimes, your personal passions or your feelings can cause you to bypass blessings that God has in front of you. Y'all too quiet. That's all right, because I shouted before I came to the pulpit. Watch this. Here's the text. You ready for the text? You want to see it in the text. I'm going to show it to you. Look at the text. On their way after the enemy, they run into the enemy. Man. Ooh, come on. They're on their way to look for the enemy. But the text says they found an Egyptian in the field. Watch this. If there had not been any divine dialogue with divinity, they would have just killed the enemy and went about their business. But you need to learn to keep your feelings to yourself. I don't care what you don't understand. Take your problems to God. Because if you take it to anybody else, it creates, you said. And then the first thing you said, man, church folks so messy. All right, I'm going to leave that alone. That's all I'm going to say about that. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. In order for the church to be messy, there has to be a mess starter. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Look at your neighbor and say, I. All of us know how it feels, so you don't think I'm talking about nobody. Watch this. Watch this. On their way, after the enemy, they found an Egyptian in the field. Look at the text. Follow me with the text. We out of here. He was sick. He was hungry. 3 days, 3 nights he hadn't ate, hadn't drank nothing. And they asked him a question, who are you? Guess what he says? I'm a servant of the Amalekite leaders. I'm sick. And my leaders knew I was sick. And they left me out here to die. They're talking to the enemy. Can we put it in context? Can we put it in context? Watch this. They're talking to one of the brothers who's responsible for the loss of their family, their livelihood, their homes, their children. They can talk to him because there's been a divine dialogue with divinity. If you pray before you speak, most of the time what you want to say won't get said at all because he's answered your prayer. So if you seek, look at your neighbor and say, start seeking and stop speaking. Oh, this is good. Watch this. Watch this. And I'm out of here. Charlie, call the cab. I mean that. Don't watch this here. Watch this. He fell ill. He was left behind to die. But look at what they did. They didn't just feed him. The text says, read down. It's in your Bible if you ain't tore it out. Guess what they did, Steve Bonton? They fed him fig cake. Now, you know what? You just might get a little something, but you ain't going to get none of the sweets. It's right here in the text. I'm not making it up. They gave him some fig cake and some raisins, some water, nursed them back to health. Now watch this. Again, they're talking to the enemy. But God will allow your enemy to become your footstool. So guess what happens? God, in their transit to the enemy, runs into a piece of the enemy who was able to instruct them and direct them to the enemy. Oh, that was good. God has folk in place whom you deem to be your enemies. Don't you write them off, because your enemies will keep you praying. Your enemies will keep you on your knees. Look at your neighbor and say, I thank God for my enemies. Because if I didn't have enemies, I wouldn't have seen progress in my own life. I thank God for every hater, every backstabber. Keep on stabbing, and God gonna bless me in your face. And so, I'm out of here. This is time lost talking to this boy. Because they could have been progressing, looking for the enemy. But they nursed a piece of the enemy back to health. I'll give you everything you want. If you do two things, read your text. If you do two things, number one, if you don't kill me. Number two, if you don't turn me in to the folk who left me out here to die. Lord have mercy. What's the lesson with the enemy? Just because they're rolling with you does not mean they're rolling for you. I'll wait. Look at your neighbor and say, boy, he said something right there. Just because, watch this, they showed up on the battlefield with the same jersey. So how do you leave folk who you start off fighting with on the battlefield to die? It was a dark place.